Good evening and welcome to another episode of Super Deluxe Gamescast. It's Thursday, August 3rd, and I didn't even need to check the date on that one because August 3rd is my birthday. I am 43 handsome years old. I don't like I'm going to give myself the smallest of compliments here.
You're
I
looking
look
damn good for 43. I'll say it.
For 43. I think I look pretty good.
I would say so. You're doing damn good for 43. You should be proud.
I am.
You're exercising. You're eating good. You use your moisturizer.
Yep, my future's so bright. I got to wear shades, Derek. No, no, I feel great. Somebody said I honestly thought you said 33 and didn't bat an eye. No, I don't. I may not look 43, but I guarantee you, I feel every minute of it. So yeah, but no, I had a lot of people come to me today and say happy birthday, so I appreciate all the birthday wishes. Thank you. And now I'm celebrating with my family here, and a nice little old fashioned Derek made with some of my Eagle Rare.
Yeah.
I
made it.
So no, I made it.
Okay. You said Derek made.
No, that I made. I made with my.
I was like, I did not drive to Virginia to do that. That's.
I mean, for Eagle Rare, I assume you would drive to Virginia to do that. What are you drinking, buddy?
Basil Hayden.
Basil. Oh, ooh, my go-to. And Jeff is finally back. Oh
yeah.
After hours, Jeff. What's up, man? I missed you, dude.
I missed you guys. It's been. I think I made like one odd show, but it's been like a couple months. Yeah, a lot has happened. Actually, nothing has happened except Final Fantasy 16. But I'm ready now.
But I am excited because like we haven't talked at all about Final Fantasy 16, and like I'm really curious to hear your thoughts when we get to that part of the show. Obviously,
yeah, we've actually got some announcements first, Derek.
Yes, we do have
go ahead and cycle through those real quick.
We have a couple of announcements. Hang on just a second. I gotta throw out a text real quick as we talk. First off, well, why don't we start with the Capcom Creators Club program? Whatever the last word is. We are officially in the. So Finn's in. Okay, good.
I added him.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know if he'd be able to make it. But anyway. We are officially in the Capcom Creators Program, which is something I've been chasing for quite a while. And Finn has worked really hard, and John has worked really hard to try to get us there. And finally, we got a hold of the right people and made the right impressions, and Capcom let us into the program. I'm really excited about that. Obviously, we have a little bit to learn about what that means for us, but it's very exciting to have access to potential like Capcom review codes. Obviously, there is nothing Capcom new that's hitting in the back half of 2023, and we don't really know what the slate looks like in 2024, but they've got some exciting projects in the pipeline, and there's some cool stuff out like right now. So, see some Capcom-sponsored content soon, some cool Capcom review codes when those are eventually a thing. But yeah, I'm excited. So we got our relationship with Square Enix, we got our relationship with Capcom. We're aiming for our number 3. Which we hope to eventually get, but
do we want to say what that is, or do we want to keep it on
quiet?
The
because then it's never a disappointment if we never get it.
No,
but
it's a big deal. It's right up there with Square, with as far as like one of those devs / pubs that we were really hoping to nail down, and this has been years working that we've been trying to make this happen, and this past week we finally made it happen.
Yeah. I feel like I maybe don't even know what this is. This is exciting. I probably do, but I can't think of it.
The third? Well, I mean, we'll see how it goes. We've been working on it forever.
Being in the Capcom Creators Program is one of the biggest things that has happened to this podcast.
It's a big deal. It's one of the biggest things to happen to us in a while. And I'm excited, and I'm kind of excited that like I get to be the person to be the like Capcom captain for the team.
You're the captain of the Capcom,
and because in this the golden age of Capcom.
Yes,
I know. Yeah.
I'm both the right person content wise, but also like I'm excited because I've got a lot of like the content creator talents and I know what I'm doing in this world, and the PR stuff is the stuff that I've always been the most afraid to dip my toes in. So this is a good excuse to like force me to get good at that stuff, which I mean, it's good personal growth for me. So I'm excited that we decided that's a good idea. But yeah, so Capcom Creators Program, very exciting. We also have starting Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern now, not noon. John and I are going to start our upcoming charity stream series. We are going to be playing through the story modes of Mortal Kombat 9, 10, and 11 because John doesn't know shit about Mortal Kombat. So,
but I know about Sindel, and I've done my research. And
we introduced John to hi Finn, how you doing, bud?
Finn, where are you?
Are you really gonna podcast like this?
No, I'm literally just popping in to say happy birthday, John. I'm about to go on a boat for a business cruise thing.
Thanks, buddy boy.
Go on your
cruise, man.
I was gonna say you should have called in once you were on the boat, so you could at least say I'm on a boat.
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry. I probably still will pop in because there's nothing more Finn than calling while riding some form of transportation.
So
You're not
technically,
wrong.
Yeah.
So now Finn is podcasted by land. He's podcasted by sea, and now all we need is for Finn to podcast by air.
You got to do it on in-flight Wi-Fi.
Podcast from an airplane.
I fly on a Thursday, I will 100% pay for in-flight Wi-Fi just to call in for like 10 seconds. Be like, I'm on a plane, joining the
land, sea, and air
club, and so I can have the land, sea, and air trio. Anyway, happy birthday, you old
Thanks, pal.
Man. We love you.
I am curmudgeonly. I love you too, buddy. Hey, and I also want to give a shout out to my good friend Mitch Dyer in chat. Thank you for the happy birthday, Mitch. Finn, hang up the damn phone. I can't hear myself talk.
Love you, Finn.
Everybody, okay.
Love you, boo.
Yeah, Mitch, of course, a very, very talented writer over at Warner Brothers.
Hello.
Mitch, thanks, buddy. There's Britt. Hi, Britt. You look lovely.
I am here.
Yeah,
you look fantastic.
Thank you.
It's friendship.
You literally
time.
just missed Finn on a boat.
What is he doing on a boat? Is this the Lonely Island?
I already made that joke.
Did you?
Same brain cell. Same brain cell.
Yeah. He's waiting to get on a boat for work.
This is the tale of Captain Jack Sparrow. Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
Great song. Great.
So we've mentioned the Capcom Creators Program. Me and John are gonna do a Mortal Kombat story mode 9, 10, and 11. So we're gonna do 9 this Saturday. We're gonna do 10 the following Saturday, and then 11. There's gonna be a week break, and then we're gonna do 11 and the 11 DLC story mode. And we're raising money for the Entertainment Community Fund, which is how you can donate money to help actors and writers who are currently on strike and in need of financial assistance. Matter of fact, I believe I still have the donate link set up through Nightbot. Yes, I do.
Let's do it.
So despite the fact we're not currently in the fundraising stream, you can throw a few bucks there if you feel like it. But obviously, we'd love to see you for the actual charity stream Saturday, 11 a.m.
So I need to speak on something. I need to speak on something.
Is it going to be Sindel again?
Yes. I actually love Mortal Kombat now. It's actually my favorite game of all time.
You introduced this motherfucker into one goth MILF, and he loves the franchise.
I mean, it's a legit reason.
I gotta tell you, I am now the world's foremost Sindel expert. She's the wallpaper on my phone. She's my desktop wallpaper. I've been printing some stuff out and posting it on the walls. Big Sindel and of course Mortal Kombat, I guess, fan also. But Derek, I just want to thank you for introducing me to the world of Sindel. It means a lot to me, and
that was the best present you could have given him for his birthday.
Yeah, Derek, I'll never forget you for this.
I gave him a
act of charity and kindness.
MILF, GILF. I'm not sure where she falls in between those two lines, but John's into it anyway. Third announcement. kind of a small one. It's not really so much about the podcast, but there is an indie title called Destiny Sword. You all may remember, we haven't talked about the game in for fuck ever, but we connected with Ken, the lead developer, and the rest of that team several times a few years ago. They were making the idea was to make this like, MMORPG where, like mental health like managing the mental health of your like crew plays a big part of the game. They went to kind of a period of radio silence for a while, and we were kind of worried something had happened to the game, but Ken reached out to us recently, and the game has gone early access on Steam. They've stripped out a lot of the like MMO elements and focused on making it like a single player experience, which is probably a good thing for keeping scope in check. But yeah, we need to check out how, I'm curious to see how the early access build they've got out right now differs from the demo that many of us played at PAXs of years past. But I'm as a buddy of the game, take a moment, check out Destiny Sword. Take a peek. We'll probably do a stream or something covering what's in that early access version, because Kez is a good dude. It was good to link up with him a few times, and I think what he's trying to work on is really cool. So I'm more than happy to be like, hey, remember that game we talked about a few years ago?
Yeah.
You can play it.
Just a really, really cool group of people too.
Yeah.
Sam, thanks, buddy. I appreciate that. Britt. It's always good to see Sam here. Britt, real quick. I in chat, Mitch said it's Sindel's realm. We're just living in it, and I said I'm being stepped on at it, and then he said fatality, and I've never regretted anything more than what I've.
I do. I'll regret a little bit for you. How about that?
Yeah.
Just like feet rhythm.
Yeah, feet rhythm.
Oh God,
we have
Final Fantasy feet rhythm.
So we have one more thing before we transition into what we've been playing. Guys, the thing we talked about, we're not going to be in sync at all, but let's go on 3, 2, 1. Happy birthday to you. We're so out of sync. Happy birthday to you.
Happy
birthday, dear John. Happy birthday to you. This is so bad. We're so out of sync on Discord.
Thank you.
But we love you, buddy.
The awkward sip. We did it. We did it.
We did it.
I'm a veteran of this. We've done a lot of these on conference calls at work. So,
is this the only podcast where you've actually had a podcast member's birthday on like the?
I mean, it's a pretty rare celestial occurrence. Yes. So,
well, then I'll just say thanks, guys, and you guys are all my true family.
Oh.
I love you, Boo.
I love you too, buddy.
All right, that's announcements out of the way. We can get to the actual meat. So what's everybody been playing?
We got to start with Jeff. We do got to start with Jeff.
I think it's fair. Jeff, what you been playing, bud?
Come on, Jeff, because I want to talk about it.
It's gonna be more of like a thought dump than a conversation, I think. I mean, even people listening, like, I've been playing Final Fantasy 16, and it took me a month to finish it. I finished it about a week ago. I'm sure you've all read the takes, and everyone's talked about it. But yeah, I haven't been on the podcast. I haven't a chance. I haven't even really, like, I tried to talk about it in our Discord, but like it seems like a lot of the conversation moved on. So I genuinely don't have any kind of gauge on how people feel about it, which has been kind of freeing. I was saying to Derek before the show, I have all the respect for the people, both on our podcast and everywhere else, that like bust their butts to cover this stuff fast, because it can be very stressful. And this is a game I was really looking forward to. And I'm very grateful and content that I was able to take it at my own pace and kind of enjoy it in my own bubble.
It's interesting because we were talking a little bit about, like, this is the first game like I was part of like producing content for in a while that was also a game I really was personally hyped for.
Yeah.
And like, it was definitely stressful feeling like I had to crunch through the game to be ready for content. And like, I think what I've learned from this is like, you know,
I'm
it's
not going to volunteer myself to play games that I actually want to play.
certainly not games that fucking big.
For codes. Yeah.
It's so much easier to do this for stuff you don't have a ton of investment in,
Mhm.
or you know, like it's this is a learning experience for all of us, I think. But I'm glad that you kind of got to be free of obligations and also free of discourse. Like
Yeah.
And mostly just like this is kind of a me thing, but when I used to be on social media, I found that like reading other opinions would really influence my own. I would kind of look for flaws that other people didn't like and stuff, and kind of removing myself from that and taking things in, and then kind of hearing other opinions is very interesting. But yeah, it's, you know, I'll keep it short. Like I don't have a ton of deep thoughts, and certainly most of it's been covered by other people already. But it's a good game. It's a great game. It's going to take me a while to really see how I feel about it in terms of like, you know, the Final Fantasy ranking tiers. Not even really that I need to necessarily do that. I'm fine enjoying stuff on its own. It's not the best one. It's far from the worst. It's definitely in the upper tier. But honestly, like I completed this game. I put 60 hours into it, which is a long time for me.
It's one of the longer Final Fantasy mainline titles.
Well, it
For
is,
sure.
and you know, one of the biggest testaments I can give to this game is I do not do side content in games. I mainline it, I follow that little main objective marker, and I move on, and I get my story, and I get the fuck out. I don't platinum them. I don't go for post game stuff. I did every side quest in this game, all of them, everyone I could get my hands
It's
on.
hell at the end. It's absolute hell.
Mhm.
And that's like Zach actually just finished the game too, and he said that he wishes that the pacing of the side quests was a lot better, because it just kind of like ruins the immersion of the game when you have like 4 hours of side quest at the end. And it's like, I get that they want to wrap everything up, like all the side stories you've been doing and everything, but it's like I feel like they could have spread that out a little more, that and not just fucking pounded you with it at the end.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I think I actually was up until that point. It didn't bother me that much, like, but up until that point, I distinctly remember thinking, "Wow, the pacing of the side quests in this game is really good," because they were doling out like
Yes, I did too.
And then same thing, and like, you know, but it's always funny. Like we joke about it sometimes. It's like, oh, gotta, like, even in like Final Fantasy 14 when I'm doing the main story quests, it's like, gotta go save the world. Oh, but I'm gonna go grind some fates for a week or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, look. I mean, the world can wait. Okay, I need my bicolor gemstones.
I gotta go help this guy plant a seed, and then it turns into a pet, and now you gotta take care of the pet.
But
I will.
Sorry, go ahead, John.
No, Jeff, please. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, it's okay. So I was just gonna get through my thoughts. Like, you know, obviously I play games, especially Final Fantasy games, for the story and characters. I think that's where it really delivered. I don't have any thoughts on the combat. I just don't really care about combat in these types of games. I'm grateful that it was accessible. I'm grateful that it was, you know, on the story mode, it was relatively like straightforward and easy. The combat wasn't as complicated as I feared when the like Platinum games, Devil May Cry comparisons came out. It's actually seems to me, at least on the easy difficulty, maybe it requires more complexity further up, but I was able to just smash that square button and spam a few special attacks and my way through easy. But I mean, the star of the game is the music and the spectacle and the stories and the characters and the writing. And for the most part, I really think it delivered. Like I said, I finished all the side quests. I thought it was awesome how they kind of had all these other arcs. You know, mechanically and like design wise, the side quests were pretty straightforward, but you had like stories of towns rebuilding and character arcs completed within those side quests and stuff. And because the game had done a bit to get me engaged in the characters, that engagement followed through to those things. And like the cast of characters in here, I'm sorry, I know people like Final Fantasy 15, and I like parts about that game. But one of my biggest issues with that game is, like, aside from maybe Noctis, I felt like the characters in that game, especially like the main cast, were like character traits, but not fully realized characters. Like it felt like this one's the lighthearted, funny one, and this is the big tough guy. But like I couldn't tell you much about them in terms of like what drives them, like what's their story, what's their history. I know they eventually fleshed some of that out with like episodes, but that should have been in the main game, and I still don't think it's where it could be. But something like this game comes along, not just the main cast like Clive and Joshua and Jill, but like Gav, fucking fantastic character.
Gav,
Oh my god, Gav.
Mid is so good.
It is awesome.
Love Mid.
Um, and just even the
Even
smaller ones.
Otto,
Otto,
and
yeah, like
Karen.
Uncle Byron, man. Uncle Byron.
Uncle fucking
Byron.
just so many personalities, so full of life, and you really get a feel for who they are and kind of what values they have. And it's just, I really struggled lately with plowing through games way too fast and being overwhelmed by it. In this game, I took my time to like really stop, look around, slow myself down, just sit in like the hideaway and listen to the music. But it's just a testament to the writing in the game and the time they took to develop the story and characters. I have very, very few complaints. The only one I'll say, and like Britt and I chatted about it a little bit, is like, I don't want to speak too much because like I'm always more curious to hear women's perspective on this, but this game did better. But like, man, it's still, Mid's a great character. She absolutely should have been like the main one other than Jill, but Jill just like, I don't want to get into spoilers, but
yes, girl, give me nothing. Like,
Yeah, that's what I put.
not even just that, like there's just parts where her she is like, she's defined by this oppression, and she has some of her agency and power. Like, I guess she retains agency, but it's really hard to not spoil it. But she basically gives
She's a
up
missed
things
opportunity.
in service of the main characters, which is just very frustrating. It doesn't feel, I understand she's not the main character, but it's just a shame that they could have done so much more with her.
So my main problem with Jill is that I didn't dislike her, but I didn't
Mhm.
like her either because she didn't have any like likable qualities to me.
It's written as Clive's friend, but not her own person, is what it
Right,
feels
and
like.
that was my biggest thing, is that she has no personality other than she loves Clive.
Yeah.
And that's great. Like that can be a personality, but it shouldn't be a character's whole personality.
yeah.
And
Now, I did,
yeah.
Britt, I want to say I did like her kind of like I'm going to redeem myself story arc. But I feel like that should have been fleshed out more. You know, I feel like it felt like
It was like,
overkill
yeah, it was
quickly.
just like a quick, like,
Yeah, a diversion almost.
yeah, like, all right, let's.
Mhm.
And like the thing that really bugged me about Jill is you get to see all these icons do really cool shit, and
Yeah.
Shiva didn't really do anything. Like,
Yeah, like
She-
protected you
other
from
than
the
the
lava.
beginning, you never even get to see her fully. Well, I guess there's
I
one
never saw her
notable one.
kick somebody's ass as
Yeah.
Shiva, whereas like you see Bahamut do that, Odin, like Titan,
Mhm.
like literally every single one. Like even Benedicta, for as little as she was in the game, like she did some shit that was cool. But Jill, I was just like, I kept waiting for that moment where I was just like, yes, come on, Jill, go, like do something other than just simp for Clive, and it didn't happen. Like I said, I don't like her, but I don't dislike her. She's there. She exists,
Yeah.
and she's just yeah.
The
Jeff-
only other little nitpick I have is this is like, again, maybe just a very petty thing, like from a personal taste perspective. I admit it took a bit to get used to the darker tone and the kind of muted palette of the game, and I did kind of acclimate, but there's an event halfway through the game that just makes the world even more drab, and I just felt like a big part of my enjoyment from Final Fantasy games is huge, varied locations, very diverse and colorful, like just really cool places and a big variety of them. And I was missing like a little bit of that here. There's kind of only like 4 big regions, and some of them look very samey. I was a little surprised that there wasn't a little bit more, and like I was really shocked there didn't seem to be any optional dungeons. Like even 15 had some really cool places you could stumble into, just kind of like main staples of the series that seemed oddly missing. But I'm not gonna say they dragged it down, because like I said, the core of the game was so good. And the last compliment I can give to it is my wife Christine does not watch me play games. Like, she's interested in them. I've kind of recapped the story of some of the 14 arcs, like Endwalker and Shadowbringers. She thinks it's really cool, but just the presentation of games typically is not something that gets her engaged. She like watched me play the opening of this and stuck with me the entire game. And so I took a month to play. I would do side quests by myself. She watched every single cutscene, and like end of the game, she was like, she went through 2 Kleenex boxes. She was just bawling. Like, she was just absolutely like enthralled. She's not big on Clive. She's definitely a Joshua stan. She fucking loves
Joshua was
Joshua.
my favorite
Josh was great.
too.
Josh was great.
Josh was great, but I will not suffer Clive slander on this
no
podcast.
sweat, Clive. He's fine, but like every time Joshua's on screen, her eyes just like She compared it to her tuxedo
Look,
mask.
We're gonna look.
from back
We
in the
need
day.
to
I
we
feel
need to
like-
shout out the unsung hero of this game, who is Yote.
Yeah.
Another
Go, girl,
character
give us
I'd love
nothing.
To
I
see,
love-
yeah,
No,
love
no,
Like,
seeing
I had
no,
to
no.
stop and think about it for a minute. I was like, Yote.
No,
Oh,
no.
Yote.
The
I
character
love
who's
Yote.
the
I got a
primary
thing
thing
for
of
girls
interest.
with short hair.
Yeah.
I love the
Um,
idea of Yote, but the game didn't give us
Yeah.
Yote.
I will say, like, like listen to the Final Fantasy 16 postmortem me and Finn did, rather than like me taking up several minutes of time here. But I particularly was very fond of like Clive as a 30-something like grown man RPG protagonist who is a very realistic. God, so many protagonists lean so hard into either being like cynical anti-heroes or like naive children, who are
Yeah.
going to save the world through friendship. And Clive feels like a very robust and developed human being
Yes.
who has his downsides, has his upsides, has his moments of doubt, right, and self-doubt, but also like talks himself through, like he's an emotionally mature person who knows how to be introspective and work through his own emotions on
Despite what
screen.
he's been through. Yeah.
Right. And there's also warmth, right? There's an earnestness and warmth to Clive when the situation is right for it, right? This is somebody with so much dimension, and it just makes me be like, give me more fucking grown-up 30-somethings in charge of these games.
Yeah, not 18-year-olds who suddenly get a
And,
giant
like-
fucking airship
Yeah.
garden.
I love that stuff sometimes, but also like, I mean, I'm an FF8 defender because of how the game actually like realistically handles teenagers, right?
Right.
But like, give me the gamers, they yearn for adult boyfriends. You know what I mean? Like,
Real quick, sorry, final thoughts. I keep having more. I'm
Yeah.
going to cut myself off, I promise. But
No, go for it.
I think, yeah, again, like I
Go,
said, the
girl, give us
characters-
everything.
Yeah, just the biggest strength of the game, I think, is that we've had so many entries that feel like a little bit of a mess, even when they have some really good elements. This one just felt focused and cohesive in a way I've been missing. This is, I'm sure everyone, maybe some people have said this, best Sid from any Final Fantasy I've ever
Yes,
played.
100%.
Definitely.
Oh my god.
Sid
It was
100%.
Joshua and then Sid. Absolutely. Those were my
You
two
can
favorite
feel
characters.
Ralph Innocent's voice like rumbling
comes
through the
on,
earth.
it's
Like,
so good.
yeah.
Like, I
Um,
get it now. I
yeah.
didn't get it when I met him, but I get it now.
Yeah. And then again, one more little slight disappointment. The main villain, I don't want to spoil because it's kind of revealed a little bit late, like most of these games. Good, but coming from a fan of 14, maybe it's unfair to hold the bar to that. But coming from the team that gave us Medion and Emmett Selk,
Very
think-
tropey, like motivation main villain, right?
Well done for what it is, but those last two 14 expansions, like some of the best villains of all time. I just
Final
like
Fantasy has all-time villains through the whole
Yeah.
game,
Right.
this whole franchise.
So the way I explained it to someone is he's like, the main villain is he's no Kefka, but he's also no, Space Pope from 13, right? Like he's a decent villain with an incredible final boss fight.
Yeah. That's true.
yeah.
Luckily,
Just
it doesn't drag the game down because the game isn't really about the villain. It's about,
Right.
to me, it was about
Right.
Clive and Joshua. That bond, the bonds that kind of keep us grounded with family and friends and kin and stuff like that, which was just excellent. So that's really all I got to say. Love the game. I don't know what much more I could have asked from it. It definitely delivered for me. And then real quickly, what else have I been playing? Just Valheim, and it's wonderful. I put in like 40 hours with some friends. That's a good game, and I highly recommend it. If you like Minecraft, I blew all my time on 16, and I don't want to drone on, but Valheim is really fucking good.
I'll go fast. I've been replaying Persona 4G.
You usually do, John.
Damn.
Happy
on his
birthday, bud.
I mean, these are
We're not getting into this. We're not doing this. We're not doing this, folks.
100% not true.
Why did you call me and specifically request that I be on this podcast? I'm a menace.
John likes when people are mean to him.
Britt, you know exactly why.
Because I'm wonderful.
Well,
Yeah.
you know the reason why. Well, but so I've been replaying Persona 4 Golden, a great all-time classic JRPG, great fucking game. I've also been replaying Secret of Evermore, which if you have not played Secret of Evermore, it is an older, I think it came out in 1996, very Secret of Mana-esque Squaresoft RPG. Good shit. Great shit. Is the only game made by their Western dev team before the studio closed. Secret of Evermore is a fantastic game. Go play it. And of course, I've been playing Final Fantasy 14. And I got some stuff later I'd like to say about, or I guess I could talk a little bit about the live letter. Of course, the live letter was announced, Dawn Trail, which is coming out next year. Jeff, what did it say? Early summer next year?
Summer 2024. Yoshi P, in his very Yoshi P method, said, "I really, really, really want it to be early summer, but please don't be mad if it is not."
I am extremely excited about Dawn Trail. This is going to be the expansion that kicks off the next 10 years of Final Fantasy 14 narrative.
Jesus, and y'all keep trying to get me to play this.
Oh yeah. And I am extremely excited because Dawn Trail, we are going to the southern continent. I love the vibe already. It's very, very Mediterranean. It's got a real vacation feel to it. We don't know a whole lot. There's some more Final Fantasy VI love coming in the form of a trial against Velagarmanda, which is one of the Espers in Final Fantasy VI. It's actually the first Esper you encounter in the very beginning of Final Fantasy VI, when you are marching across the snowfields to Narsh, and Biggs and Wedge and Terra. That frozen Esper, that's Velagarmanda. So it's cool to see Velagarmanda, which gives me hope that Narsh will be a city in Final Fantasy 14. It's also we'll see the visual overhaul happen.
Visual update looks fantastic.
It looks great.
And I love that they put such an emphasis on not ruining the aesthetic of 14 that people have fallen in love with.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, so good.
Yeah. Is that? Oh, CJ's here.
Oh
shit.
Shit, what's up,
okay.
bud?
I would have missed John's birthday. Like the oldest person I know. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, man.
Christ.
Fucking
It's like a roast night for John. We have not been kind to him.
Happy birthday.
He wouldn't have it any other way.
Just remember, some of you are going to be in the same room with me in October.
You're gonna do shit.
I'm gonna fart on everyone's pillow.
That's a hate crime.
I'm gonna fart on everyone's pillow. Somebody's gonna wake up with a fucking famously huge turd in their blanket.
A white man on biological
is that your
warfare
boy in chat, John? John.
Oh, that is. Oh, my son is in chat.
As evidenced by the usage of the phrase "father."
Little dad is in chat.
He's like, Jane, come here. He's like sitting behind me on the couch.
So I really got to be careful about the comments I make.
He's like, hey, no, get down here. He's like sitting behind me. I'm like, who the hell is?
Oh my god, he's so big. What happened to him?
I know. Look at his haircut.
Puberty.
I'm about to get
this
the
dude needs
chat.
a haircut. This dude, Jade,
not
say hi to him real
necessarily.
quick.
No, let him have it long and flowy before he loses it, like you.
Yeah, his hair to get real. In fact, you know what, bud? Here, you want to take over for me? Here you go.
No, I'm losing John.
Oh God, what's up, guys?
Hey, buddy.
What's up, pro gamer?
Wow, so John de-aged is what happened.
Yeah, he just said, "Fucking, I'm out."
I take it back. I take my birthday back.
But yeah, I'm the same person.
I had a wonderful. Did you not get, guys? Did you hear my wonderful birthday message? That's it. Does that mean nothing to anyone? I showed up. I showed up.
Yeah, this is my podcast now.
Oh,
Is John
damn.
taking a shit? No.
He makes the head
Get out of here, little turd.
Dorian said it looks just like John when he shaves. That is true.
Yeah, no, my son looks like
your spitting
frighteningly like me. Yeah,
He's your spitting image.
It's really weird. But yeah, no, I was. That's done. No, I'm really looking forward to. I'm really looking forward to Dawn Trail. I'm very excited about it. What do we think? Real quick question for Britt and Jeff. What do we think the two new jobs are?
I'm hoping Corsair or Ranger.
I think it's personally. I think it's Geomancer is the range DPS. And I think the melee DPS is going to be either, I think it's going to be Beastmaster.
Oh no, because they said Beastmaster was going to be like the blue mage. So I mean, they might, but
Did they say that though?
yeah, they pretty much said that the next like blue mage class was going to be Beastmaster.
I don't remember hearing that. Anyway,
But that would be my new main. Like if I get to go
If it was
around
a
and fucking like
Beastmaster?
He had
and have cute pets.
Ninja
Are you
Turtles
kidding me?
shirt on, right?
Yeah, the Ninja Turtle. He had a Ninja Turtle shirt on. So, which
Mhm.
I'm thinking Beastmaster.
Is there a green mage?
There is a green mage. Well, there's green magic in Final Fantasy 12, but there's not like an actual green mage. So yeah, who knows? Anyway, that's all I got. Who wants to go next? Britt?
Yes, I will go next. So I finished Final Fantasy 16 in, I'm not going to talk about it, but I finished it in 2 weeks, a 60-hour game in 2 weeks, and that was mentally exhausting for me. I enjoyed it, and I also didn't enjoy it. I beat the game, and I literally haven't touched it since. I have no desire to go back and platinum it or replay it on New Game Plus yet. I might go back and redo it eventually. But I pretty much just like threw down my controller, said thank God, and moved on to like simple games. Like I've been playing Overwatch. I've been playing a little bit of WoW, and I started 14 back up again. And I actually did some blue mage farming last night, and it was really fun. Chaotic, but really fun. So to kind of describe blue mage, it's not like a regular class in Final Fantasy 14. It's one that you so if you don't know what a blue mage is, a blue mage basically steals an enemy's abilities. So in 14, the way that works is the enemy has to use the ability, and then you have a chance to learn it. So that being said, if you do a primal fight and you do not have a full team, there is only 10% chance of you to get that ability. So that's a lot of spamming. So we had to like party finder like a few people, and literally like, so I talked about this yesterday, but the crazy thing is it's like I was playing 14 and this like this Lalafell came in completely maxed out blue mage, just came in to help, wanted nothing out of it. They just wanted to come help us fight stuff and and that kind of thing. And then you go on WoW and it's literally everybody shouting like, hey, I'll buy you wins, like you pay me and I'll run you through this content, you know, like if you need help on this, pay me, I'll get a group together and we'll get you everything. And it's just like, it's so crazy, like the difference in the community. And it's just like I didn't realize how much I missed the 14 community until I was back there again. And just
maybe we're too mean to
like,
Lafells.
Thanks for letting me know you were back, Britt.
I literally just started like yesterday.
Yeah, you could have told me. I would have played with you.
If I would have seen you on, I would have messaged you and said, "Come be blue mage." But yes, I have a lot of catching up to do. I specifically wasn't playing 14 until I beat Final Fantasy 4, so the story would be fun.
Did you finish one?
I'm at the very fucking end.
Okay.
And I have not beat it yet. The problem is, it's like I got to the very fucking end, and then I had my trip to Washington, and then the 16 launch party, and then I came back and like the game had released, and then I was plowing through that shit, and I got burnt out on Final Fantasy. I was like, I need a break.
So now in 14, now 14 makes sense.
Right. So like I didn't even watch any of the FanFest stuff.
Yeah.
Just because I said I was like so burnt out on Final Fantasy shit. But yeah, I've just been kind of playing games that don't require too much attention. And yeah, just doing my thing. Hanging with my buddies.
Awesome. Derek, what about you, buddy?
So I gotta get my focus back.
Yeah,
on.
fix you. Yeah, come back
now
to the
that I'm
real
returning
world,
to the real world.
Good, I'm too drunk.
Shit, I'm
TJ's
so drunk.
panicking.
Everybody's perceiving me as blurry. It's everyone else's problem now. So since I finished FF, because it's been a few weeks since we did an actual show, for one reason after another. But ever like since FF16, the one thing I've played, and I just beat it a couple days ago, to my satisfaction, is Pikmin 4. And I gotta tell y'all,
I've heard good things. I
gotta tell y'all, if somebody had told me even 2 months ago that Pikmin 4 was going to be a 30+ hour game, I would have laughed in your face. Because Pikmin's known for being like really good, really tight, really digestible games, especially if you understand their mechanics. And Pikmin 4 is so fucking big. It is easily bigger than 1, 2, and 3 combined. There's so much variety in the game in terms of like gameplay experiences. Pikmin 4, the best way I can describe it is Pikmin 4 is like, you remember when they used to do like when Nintendo and Rare were making 3D platformers back on the Nintendo 64, and like by the end of it, Rare was just making the largest fucking games you'd ever seen. Pikmin 4 is the equivalent of that. It's just packed to the gills with shit to do. It's a lot of fun. I mean, it's like, it's immaculate. It's fucking Pikmin, right? These games are incredible to play. If you haven't played any of them, you should. All 4 are on the Switch now. They're a great time. 4 is very approachable. It's not very demanding to play and beat on like a basic level. But if you want to do a lot of the optional content or get like higher grade medals at a lot of the side content, that takes a lot of time. So yeah, Pikmin 4, real fucking good. And then I have Baldur's Gate 3 installed. I haven't really played it. I started getting into the character creator, realized I didn't have enough time to even do that before the show. Did see that there's a dong selector, which is interesting.
I was gonna ask
There is a
about
dong
that.
selector.
There
and
is a
Baldur's
dong
selector.
selector.
I was gonna ask. So Derek, are
You can
gonna
be
go
like,
with,
hey, what flavor pussy should this character have? And you can pick it.
So Derek,
yeah,
Derek,
it's
are you,
wild.
so Derek, depending on what gender you roll, are you going like tiny little like thumbtack dong? Or are you going like regular size?
There's not a
like standard
size selector. It's more like
Oh, you
grooming
can't,
and
like, there's not, like, a
circumcision and
slider?
shit. No, it's not a dick size slider. This isn't Saints Row.
Okay, well,
Like-
at the very least, make sure that shit is nice and trimmed. You don't want like a bald like.
well, no, my
weird
character's going to be
situation,
immaculately groomed, but like it depends on what I'm making. I'm going to make a half elf sorcerer with dragon ancestry, so like he's going to be immaculately coiffed and very well groomed. But if I was making fucking
Is he gonna wait? Hold on,
dwarf
Half-Dragon,
anything.
Does the half dragon have like a scaly dick and ball package, or like what's going on there? Like,
If
what
you
is
pick
that?
a dragonborn, you do. But
Does it breathe fire?
Yes, it can.
Okay.
If you pick a red dragon as your dragon ancestry, then yes.
Okay,
but there's a
perfect.
lot of different dragons. I'm gonna go with a green dragon ancestry because I want the little scale pattern on the face to be green on my half
Derek,
elf.
I wasn't talking about you.
Yeah, but if you're not a dragonborn
Derek.
are different than picking a sorcerer with dragon
I
ancestry.
will say this, Derek. When we eventually get to our D&D campaign,
Yes.
that shit's going to be critical for making like NPCs and like everything. Like it'll be so beneficial.
Yeah,
Derek, did you miss my joke?
maybe, I don't know.
Dicks. I'm talking about dicks.
Yeah, I know. And I said the dragonborn get scaly dicks. I don't know what you want me to say.
All
It's
right.
just-
I didn't.
There's
a
a difference between the dragonborn and picking a sorcerer whose sorcerer's powers come from dragon ancestry. Those are different things. SDGC D&D is still going to be a thing. I'm still working on some stuff. A big part of the problem is we're loaded down with shit we're doing right now, and we have been. And Castle Bravo has been a bigger commitment than I thought it would be. But Castle Bravo has a time limit on it, at which point we'll be done. We're gonna do some D&D. It's gonna be fun. We're getting there. So, but yeah, that's Pikmin's what I've been playing, really.
I love that in LA I guessed Finn's character's name just by accident.
And it's exactly the same as yours, isn't it? Yeah.
Yep.
I love it. And don't you dare fucking change what you're doing.
Oh, I haven't made it yet.
Okay.
I just said that's
I
what
want
I'm
everybody to
do.
make their characters independently of each other, and I just want to see what the fuck comes
I'm telling
together.
My
Don't tell us.
character
That's the point.
No, he's I've already told you he's a barbarian at law.
Okay.
Yeah, and his
that's
name is
different.
Ron Pips.
No, his name is Carl Hungus.
Shut the fuck up.
Either that or Winslow Pipes. I haven't figured out which one yet. I'm gonna go with.
Happy Winslow Pipes. CJ, what you been playing, man?
Nothing free. I can't talk about movies on this podcast because I don't want to scab. So
Right. Dude, that's the problem I'm running into with Castle Bravo is like right now we're fine, but we're running up on the Sony.
My friend and I want to start a movie podcast, but I told we gotta hold off on that.
Jeff, your episode is delayed indefinitely on Castle Bravo because we can't talk about the Sony TriStar Godzilla without scabbing. So we can't.
I'm not going anywhere.
Which is
I'll be
sad
ready to
because
talk
Barbie
about
was
it.
great. I'm not
Barbie
gonna
was
can
really
talk about it.
Everyone follow if you want to know what I'm watching because I haven't been logging reviews. If you want to know what I'm watching, follow me on Letterboxd. Because it'll just say what I've been watching. My Twitter will tell you. What was the last thing I played? It's been a while. Last Sunday. I went to go see a movie that a 3-hour long biopic I can't talk about. But within that weekend, I played the Crew Motorfest's beta. Ubisoft had their big closed beta for that entire weekend. I was really busy. I didn't have much time to play it, but I got a few hours in. It's good. It's what I wanted. It's just a Forza Horizon 5 ripoff on PS5. That's it. Come September 14th, initial release date September 11th, 2023. It's a very funny release date for a video game. What is it? I'm kind of done playing any other game, I think, for the next couple months. I think that October Wasteland, that's full of Spider-Man, Mario, Assassin's Creed, whatever bullshit.
I was gonna say, dude, there's no way you're not playing Mario. There's no way you're not playing Super Mario Wonder.
Oh, there's a new Sonic game that's okay.
We're playing Mario and Sonic at the charity get together.
Well,
so
yeah.
Okay. So barring whatever I have to review, because I'll probably get a review code for Sonic Superstars. Yeah, all my free time will be completely consumed by this by the Crew Motorfest. I'm all in. They added Toyotas back. The beta let me transfer all my cars from the Crew 2. I got my Skyline. I'm all in. That's it. This is it. I've got tires from my real car, and it made me the fucking dopamine hit in my brain was like, oh man, this is like the Crew. This is like the Crew. I treat driving it's the greatest thing in the world. I have to drive an hour and a half on Monday to start my new job.
That's not
I'm
cool.
fucking pissed.
Is an hour and a half your commute, or is there something unique about Monday?
That commute for that the first 2 days because it's a whole. I'm not gonna get into it, but it's
we can't talk about it publicly. Yeah.
But at first I was pissed, but then the back of my mind no wait, I get to drive. It's the most fun thing in the world.
Yeah.
Little dopamine hit. Listen to the Initial D soundtrack.
Yeah.
Other than that, the only I can talk about what I'm looking forward to. Bomb Rush Cyberpunk comes out in 2 weeks.
Wait, what is?
So Bomb Rush Cyberpunk is
It's like Jet Set Radio, basically.
It's literally like a Jet Set Radio 6. We've gotten.
I thought you said Bomberman. I was like, "There's a new Bomberman."
I would kill. There
would fucking murder someone. I would.
No,
I would,
at the charity last year, I was whomping everybody at Bomberman. That was
you were
the
fucking
only
wrecking
That
us.
was the only game I was good at against you fucks.
I would make my son sleep in
Besides
the garage for a
Gang
week
Beasts.
for a new Bomberman, a good new Bomberman.
Oof. We gotta play.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he's listening. That's right. I said it.
Anyway, so Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. I'm excited. I love Jet Set Radio. Other than that, that's it. I'm done. I want to check out Baldur's Gate 3. Whenever it comes to actually no. So can't talk about what I've been watching, but to give you an idea, I'm in a whole Cyberpunk hyperfixation now. I front load my Kindle's full of a bunch of William Gibson novels. I down all 3 Shadowrun like reboots are on Game Pass, so I downloaded those on my Xbox. I re-downloaded Cyberpunk 2077 on my PS5. I re-downloaded Deus Ex: Mankind Divided on my PS5. So I'm fucking getting jacked in. Other than that, that's
after that you can jack off. It's great.
I don't like that, John. It's your birthday. Let's keep it clean.
I'm known for keeping my language clean. All right. Derek, did we want to talk about Switch 2 rumors first?
Let's talk the Square Enix stuff. That's
Gotcha.
likely to be
Okay.
quicker, probably.
Gotcha.
So you already kind of talked about a lot of the fan fest and new expansion stuff, and to be fair, we usually don't spend a lot of time talking about like a game got announced. That's the news topic. What was kind of interesting was we finally got like Final Fantasy 14's actually coming to Xbox. Did they give us a hard date on that?
Next summer.
They said it's coming with patch 6.5.
Yeah.
Which is very predictable, because they release the patches about every 3 to 4 months.
Wait, no, Jeff. I thought it was coming with Dawn Trail.
Nope, it's coming with 6.5 ahead of Dawn Trail.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, cool.
That makes sense because it gives like new Xbox players the time to catch up before the new expansion comes out.
Yeah.
It'd be shitty if the new expansion came out and then they were just getting able to start.
That's true.
It's funny. Like, I get why this is a big deal, but it's technically the second announcement because they did announce 14 coming to Xbox years ago.
It
and
was
one of the Xbox Ones
3,000 years ago.
Yeah, and it was like very quick, like, oh yeah, we're gonna do this, and then no follow up for years.
But it's real, it's happening, and like, tell me if I'm crazy. Yes, go first.
Do you think it's going to be on Games Pass?
No,
I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't know how an MMO would work on Games Pass.
I don't think it would because they're going to want their own.
Monthly subscription games on Game Pass. Is there precedence for that?
I don't think that's the reason. I don't think it's...
Here's what they're gonna do. My prediction, because they did it with, like, for example.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, you have to pay for the subscription to the game, but you don't have to pay for the game itself.
They'll probably give Game Pass players like some sort of trial period. They'll be like, all right, so it's on here. What? Because they released a bunch of like the remasters on Game Pass, like as soon as they came out on Xbox. Phantasy Star is on Game Pass. So there's precedent for like an MMO on there, but it's like it's not impossible that an MMO can, like, you know what I'm saying? I think,
but you're not paying
for you pay for the account,
right?
But you're also paying for expansions.
I mean, the game itself is free for like 3 fucking expansions, right? So
that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm asking. Do you think those games will be on Game Pass?
I think they're going to give subscribers like some sort of incentive, right? They're going to be like, all right, you can play it for like X amount of time, or like you'll have like a paid account for like X amount of time for how, you know what I'm saying? As long as you're subbed to Game Pass, or you'll get like a hard stop and then you have to like, you can buy whatever at like a discount. I think that's how they're going to do it, because they've done it before with other Square games. Like, where they're like, they've offered them on Game Pass. Like, I think like 13 was on Game Pass for like the longest time. The 12 remaster was on Game Pass for the longest time. 10, 7, 9, like they were all on Game Pass. I think when they launched.
I don't know, man. I don't see Square Enix agreeing to finally bring 14 to Xbox if it's on Game Pass. Like, especially since, like, you know,
maybe the expansions will be free and you can get everything up to the newest version, but you still have to pay your subscription. Like, I don't know. There's ways. There's compromises here.
That's what I was saying.
I can see like the free, you know, up to, you know, I think it's up to Stormblood now.
Stormblood now, huh?
Like that, maybe that's on Game Pass, but I don't.
Well, how would it be? That wouldn't be Game Pass. That's just free anyway.
It's just free.
Yeah, but anyway,
what's the Game Pass like incentive? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's if it was going to be on there? Like,
bitch, you can play Final Fantasy 14 on your Xbox. Like,
no, but I think like the bigger discussion here is Square moving in positive directions.
That's,
you know,
that's
like,
the thing. And I don't want to sound conspiratorial here, right? Because I hate being like that. And I poo-poo at people for doing that. But there's no fucking way Final Fantasy 14 has been in the works for this long and is only just now finally able to come out. Something's
Right.
up. I think Square and Xbox maybe came to disagreement, and Square was like, and just hasn't fucking worked on it. Right?
Well, the
Was it-
phrasing on the
I thought-
stage was that Yoshi P introduced what I understand is a relatively new CEO for Square.
yes.
Very new.
And he basically, you can interpret it as a commitment or PR speak, but he basically said, like kind of reaffirming, like whenever possible, we want to bring Square games to Xbox. So like you could
Well,
take
and
that
he
as
had a very positive message at the
Mhm.
pre-launch party too. Derek.
Yeah. Well, I was just gonna say that I think is the key, right? I think Square basically was willing to just go fuck it in regards to Xbox projects because that's the way Square has been forever. And I think this new CEO is a lot of things. It seems like he's a little bit more, aware of what's going on in the games industry, right? Like he told stories at the FF16 launch party that was like talking about his first time like crossing the bridge in Final Fantasy 1 and hitting the title screen, right? Like this is somebody who plays video games and is passionate about the industry, not just a finance dude who's in charge of a company that happens to make games. So I think he sees it as we can get our products to more people, right? Rather than sticking to corporate relationships with Sony specifically. That's, one part of it. Obviously, the whenever possible is like Sony's still going to money hat, some exclusivity windows. But
So I thought after 16, the exclusivity between Square and Sony was like done, and that's why I thought they went ahead and announced the 14 on Xbox.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Sony still came up to him and was like, "Hey, that's a mighty fine game you got coming up. What if we was to buy a year of exclusivity on it?" Because like FF7 Rebirth isn't going to hit Xbox anytime soon.
Probably
Re-
won't hit it after like a year.
Remake
Like,
isn't even on
Yeah.
Xbox, right?
They're gonna keep that shit for like the next 5 years if they could. Sony's not gonna let like any new Final Fantasy game go.
Hey,
Oh,
real
shit.
quick.
Old
Gabe's
buddy
in
Gabe who
chat.
used to be on the show. Gabe,
My
good
sweet
to see you,
Gabe.
bud.
My sweet Gabe is in chat.
Yeah.
Oh, it's been so long.
Been a long time, bud. Good to see
Gabe.
ya.
Dude, what's up?
Yeah.
What's up, Gabe?
Gabe's an old hat in SDGC.
Gabe is fucking
Good
great.
dude. Good
Like,
dude.
holy shit, Gabe.
Is OG STGC.
Yeah,
He is
man.
from,
Yeah,
like,
man.
Yeah.
The old days. Like Gabe is SDGC for life.
Gabe's
Like,
dogs, like we love Benya and we like Moo and Dottie. Gabe's dogs were legendary.
legends.
Before anyone knew what this podcast was.
Back in the days of Google Hangouts,
Google Hangouts.
and 2.5 hour podcasts and like using Google Hangouts to like draw doodles on each other's fucking like screens and shit. Like back at Apollo and to think oh my god, Gabe, dude, Gabe, you're fucking great. Gabe is awesome.
They wreak
I just wanted
havoc
to
on the
shout-
neighborhood.
I wanted to shout Gabe out because we fucking love Gabe.
Yeah.
God, I'm so glad you're
Always
here.
good to see.
I'm so glad you're
a
here. Gabe.
bud.
That made my whole fucking night. Sorry, I didn't mean to derail, but I got really excited. I was like,
No,
holy
that's
shit,
an
is this
exciting
Gabe?
thing.
Like,
That's a good catch, John.
holy shit.
Yeah. Where even were we?
Where the fuck? Yeah, we were
Oh
talking
yeah,
about Square.
FF7 remake isn't even on Xbox yet. Right. So
Where were
like
we talking about Final Fantasy? All right.
yeah, that's fair.
First.
But yeah, I think, and we've heard some things behind the scenes that we can't talk about too much from like other folks, that there's some other major changes that are happening inside, on several aspects at Square Enix. And just like, guys,
It's
it
all,
seems like
so
this,
positive. It's positive.
it's all positive. It seems like this new CEO may just be good, right? Like,
So I think the thing is that this is a guy who grew up playing SquareSoft games as opposed to some, corporate CEO who never picked.
this
up
isn't a
controller in his
sales
life.
dude. This is, I mean,
Yeah.
he is to some degree a sales dude because you don't climb those ranks without being like involved in that world. But this is somebody who like specifically has fond memories of Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy. So, Square,
Yeah.
I love a lot of Square's legacy titles, and I love a lot of the new stuff they put out, but I think we've always had frustrations with like a ton of your legacy titles are unavailable, and they shouldn't be. It shouldn't have been as hard for the Pixel like any other company. The Pixel remasters would have been out on all the consoles at once. Shit would have made sense. There'd be feature parity, and that didn't happen with Square. And it's like, you know, I feel like change starts at the top, and it's not like he's going to personally walk around going, you do this different, but like you change the guy at the very top, you get different directive to, you know, your various department heads and your C-suite. You know,
That's the
people who
dream, at least.
That's
Yeah.
the hope. So, but we're hearing good things. We're hearing good things. And like, as somebody who's not an Xbox gamer, like I want people who play primarily on Xbox to get to experience these games, right? From the good to the mid.
like everybody, I'm sure you
Like,
saw
I'm
it, guys.
so tired of gatekeeping. Like, let's
The
just let
console
Yeah.
war
everything.
bullshit. Like I knew the console war bullshit would spin up again when I heard this. More people playing great games on as many platforms as possible is a net positive for everyone.
It's cool to fucking share art with people.
Don't gatekeep shit.
And if you view
Like,
games as art and not as fucking consumerist chum, then you should be happy about this. That's what matters.
like I hope 16 comes to Xbox. I hope the Pixel remasters come to Xbox. You know, and like Square Enix is my favorite company. These games mean so much to me. And if more people
put
get to
the
play them,
weird mid
great.
shit on there. Put Diofield Chronicle on Xbox.
Yeah,
Let's go.
Throw some fucking romancing Saga Frontier. Like get
Balance
that
on there.
obscure shit.
Anything
I think
can be
Balance
on
already
there.
on there.
Yeah,
I
if
think
Balance
Balance
on
already
there-
on there. What the fuck is Final Fantasy
CJ, I
16?
googled
course it
Balin
is.
to see if it was already on there, so I
knew-
see if I can make that joke.
Like I didn't know.
Yeah.
like I didn't know.
No, Charlotte
Put
in
Harvest
chat,
Stella on
she-
there.
Charlotte, she knows Soccer Frontier. That's
Yeah,
why Charlotte's
Charlotte
a real
does.
one. Charlotte
is like, if it's a PS1, Sega Saturn, Dreamcast game, like one of those three systems, that's a solid pillar of her entire personality. Love her
Saga,
for it.
Charlotte, I don't know if you saw this.
She's a real
Charlotte,
one
but
right there.
Charlotte, I don't know if you saw this, but Saga Frontier 2 leaked on Play Asia a few months ago, so that we know that's coming as a port, which is my favorite Saga game. I fucking love Saga Frontier 2. But yeah, no, I have more. I have a lot more hope for ports of games like Einhander and Parasite Eve, and like all those yeah, like this guy gives me a lot of hope. A lot of hope. It's always nice to see first time chats. Like I love that shit. But yeah, so is there more that we wanted to hit on with Square Enix before
I think
we
it's
move on to
just
Switch
good
2?
news, right? It's just nice to have
I
good
think
news
so,
about
yeah.
Square, which, like, obviously, aside from being a company that we are oftentimes partnered with, like, it's just, look, this is infamously a Final Fantasy podcast, whether we like it or not.
It is.
You know,
I love it.
and
But soon now, Derek is also going to be a Monster Hunter and Street Fighter podcast.
you bitches, it's over when the new Monster Hunter gets officially announced. You know that, right? You know,
Go for it, boo.
nobody's fighting me for that review code when it's time. That one's
Oh no, that's
mine.
yours. It's yours. It's
Yeah.
yours. It's
Who the
yours.
fuck are you talking to?
You like I would pay you to take it from me. That's how much I don't like Monster Hunter.
I insist that Britt gets Power Stone though.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
But I
I
mean,
ins-
like, if I
if-
get it, you have to buy it, John, and we have to stream it together.
Yeah, fuck yes, we. Like I'm not
Mhm.
gonna buy Power Stone. Like come on,
Oh my
Britt.
God.
Come on,
if,
Britt.
if Power Stone
Wanna be in on
happens,
this.
if
I mean,
Power
it
Stone
was in
happens.
the,
Derek,
it
don't
was in.
put that
Hey, no.
vibe in
It
the
was-
world. We don't need
It was.
that.
It was in the Capcom. It was in the Capcom league. We know
we
it's
don't.
happening.
We gotta be. I don't know. We don't know.
We know it's
We don't
happening.
know.
But speaking of leaks, a bunch of Switch 2 details leaked. Now these, I want to be clear, these are not like fucking like insider leaker, gaming leaker, like Switch
we
2.
have intentionally stayed away from all of the rumor mongering around this shit, other than like to briefly say, yeah, we think like there's reasons to think this shit's coming.
Shut the fuck up,
but
Britt.
not much beyond that. But yeah, VGC actually revealed, which is a reputable site, reputable outlet, reputable
Yeah.
journalists, right? Staking their
Yep,
claim
they-
on this.
They
that-
don't report shit if they can't back it up.
Yeah.
And I I just want to cite a recent example. They were one of the first to report on Konami getting back into games and redoing Metal Gear Solid 3 and all that stuff. And it took years, but that ended up true.
Yep. These guys know their stuff.
So there's basically no details out in the wild about what Nintendo's new hardware is, right? Which is part of the reason why I think this is time to start paying real attention, because they're saying, hey, what we're hearing is dev kits are in the hands of major partners. They may or may not be showing it off to key partners at trade shows coming up, places like Gamescom and TGS. Not like announcement. You're not going to fucking see the thing at Gamescom, but like they might be showing it to key partners, right? Which is how this works. It's how the timeline works, that they're ramping up manufacturing and that they hope to have this thing out second half of next year, right?
Now, I want to be clear, Derek. VGC right out the bat says that it is a hybrid console, which would seem like the most, reasonable thing to expect ever.
They did
but
say
it is fucking Nintendo, so you never know. But
it is the Switch concept. Yeah,
it is, and let's face it, like it's going to be the Switch 2. Like that's what.
Very
it is.
specifically, they don't know for sure if it's backwards compatible.
I'm sure. I am sure. So
Nintendo got a chance to do
you shouldn't be sure, bud. You shouldn't be sure.
Oh
I'm not.
Nintendo has the opportunity to do the funniest thing possible.
Okay, they bring back the UMD just for the Switch 2. That's it.
Say one thing real quick. I didn't hear this. I didn't hear that bit about it maybe not being backwards compatible, but that actually ties into what we were talking in the Discord server earlier today, and I said, the interesting thing is there's 130 million Switches out there. It was easy to convince people to buy Breath of the Wild with the Switch because, like, I played Breath of the Wild on the Wii U, and I didn't see a reason to get a Switch for it. But nobody had a Wii U, so it just makes sense. I get a Switch in Breath of the Wild. But I was like, how are they going to convince people, assuming some of the launch titles are cross-gen, where, like, if they decide to make games exclusive to Switch 2, how are you going to convince 130 million people to abandon their Switch in their library and, like, jump into a second one?
The same way you convince people to go PS4 to PS5. Like,
but these
are backwards. But the PS5 is backwards compatible.
Yeah.
Right, and you can cloud save your games from the 4 to the 5 in your saves.
It's not backwards compatible.
So
man,
it almost has to be.
Shit about this stuff,
here's the thing: like they are not going to leave 130 million consumers out in the cold. Like there will be some.
Yeah, Nintendo, man, I could see it.
So John,
so they can release
question.
an HD version of the games that they release.
Genuine question. You're asking why would they leave 130 million consumers in the cold? What about the 3DS?
What about it?
They dropped that shit.
Was the Switch not leaving behind everybody who owned a 3DS?
Yeah,
but by that logic. It's not different.
No,
I've seen a lot of ad hoc like justification of like why it simply has to be backwards compatible, and I agree 90% chances it is because it does not make sense not to, but it's fucking Nintendo, so you don't know.
Here's the thing about that. So I will actually explain this one. The 3D, like that, this was back in the day where Nintendo was a dual console environment, right? Like you had your box under the TV, then you had your dedicated handheld where you had games that were designed specifically for a handheld device with two screens, right? With the Switch, Nintendo has basically unified those two concepts, and now you've got a console and a portable device that exist as one entity, which is why you can't that doesn't surprise me that 3DS owners got left out in the cold, because those games simply would not work on the Switch because of the fact they all utilize two screens. It's a completely different format. Now going forward, things have changed, right? Like all Nintendo games are playable on one single console as opposed to two different schools of thought.
Yeah.
My answer. Sorry,
go ahead.
Finish, Sean.
No. Well, all I was going to say is, if you're going to do backwards compatibility with the Switch, there are far less hurdles to jump than there were last gen.
Oh yeah, it would be theoretically a much easier process for sure.
My answer to Derek's question is, how was it phrased? Like, Why wouldn't? So the thing, I don't want to sound like the FTC, but Nintendo does not play by the same rules as Sony and Microsoft. The new PlayStation and Xbox absolutely could not have got away with not being backwards compatible. But I feel like this is going to test my theory that Nintendo can kind of just do what they want and it can go either way. But like people, if people want to play the new Nintendo stuff, I feel like they will buy the system. Maybe not everyone, maybe it will piss some off, but I think if anyone could get away with not having a backwards compatible console launch in 2023, it'd be Nintendo, because when there's a new Mario and a new Zelda, it to me it's just stupid, because like on a unit sales method, like you're losing an install base of 130 million, and regardless of how
it's a dog shit choice if they don't. I mean,
it is,
it doesn't make sense. But
so if Metroid Prime 4 launches exclusively for Switch 2, which seems to be like a thing a lot of people think, again, I'm not saying you should never have like, you know, new gen exclusives that push the hardware boundaries, but man, like you're really kneecapping the sales of the game when you could have 130 million more people playing it.
Yeah. Well, and like, so I've seen a lot of people say, like, there's 130 million Switches in the wild. Those people aren't going to get abandoned. And it's like, the Switch doesn't turn into a pumpkin when the Switch U drops or whatever, right? Like, 130 million people with Switches will continue to own Nintendo Switches that will continue working for a very long time, you know, minus stick drift, you know, and people will continue to, like, it's like the Wii, right? Mario Kart Wii was selling better than any new game on the Wii U for years, almost through its life cycle, right? Like the Switch is going to continue, if there's no continuity between the Switch and the new hardware, like the Switch is going to keep selling and Switch games are going to keep selling until they're out. And Switch games will be clogging up Walmart shelves, but it's going to keep happening.
I think there are some things that have just changed in the games industry now as to what is expected and what is necessary.
I think it's hardcore expected these days.
It's expected, and I also think at this point, this is just one of those things that is necessary for your console to move forward.
I can't imagine not doing it, but it's fucking Nintendo.
One thing people have pointed out is that just historically, they've only dropped backwards compatibility when the media format changes. And one thing I was curious about is, like, will a Switch 2 still use cartridges? Because I know
we're getting into some...
assuming that they want this console to be able to play more than just Nintendo first-party games, and looking at the size of games now, like, how long? I don't know. Like, I genuinely don't know. I don't know enough about... Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I wanna be the devil's advocate, right, for the exact position I was arguing earlier, which is you can't fucking tell with Nintendo, so don't ever be 100% sure that it's going to be backwards compatible. I'm going to point out, a lot of the most baffling decisions about hardware came under Iwata's rule as CEO, because Satoru Iwata, rest in peace, his philosophy on hardware was he wanted to see unique hardware pushing unique ideas, something different every time, right? Which is what made the Wii so incompatible with a lot of what came before and after it, right? What made the Wii U so different, why the DS to the G, and we were lucky that, like, theoretically, like, we could make GameCube work on Wii, right? We could make Game Boy Advance work on DS, but like there was still some matter of backwards compatibility. But it's Iwata who was chasing this sort of, let's make something different and unique that nobody else can recreate, and let our developers have a blast thinking of experiences on that. The current Nintendo does seem to be run more by people whose attitude is, we have got to be a modern tech gaming company. We're still going to be Nintendo, but we're not going to do weird shit just because, right? And they've also said in the past that they want this new Nintendo account system to be forwards compatible, forwards thinking. So, you know, that would seem to imply that stuff like their online service is meant to move forward to the next system. You know, so the tea leaves are good. But like, Don't make bets when it comes to Nintendo. Just don't do it. It's a bad call. It's a bad idea. I don't know where John went. He had to poop.
I never have any input on new consoles because I just don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Like, I do want a new. Oh, it's Finn on a boat? And John's back. Finn's on a boat. How you doing, buddy?
I had to go handle a dog issue.
Yeah. At least you're not
Finn,
driving the
you're on
boat,
a
Finn.
Get in the water. Get in the water.
I'm just here to say hi to Britt and CJ.
Get in the
Hello,
water.
Blue.
Nice
Hello.
water. I don't...
It's just a nice forehead.
You're like my grandma trying to FaceTime.
God, I love Finn. Oh,
man gave us a close up of that forehead.
I love that man, that fucking
Right.
dweeb. But yeah, now what's kind of funny. So obviously we've got very, very lax details, but it's seeming more and more likely that Nintendo's new hardware is hitting back half of next year. What's funny is around the same time frame, according to, I believe it was Tom Henderson, who again, very
Yes.
reliable.
Very reliable.
We're looking at a PS5 Pro or whatever they decide to call it, but a new, significantly more powerful PS5 model.
That they can use to also sell out and make people fucking mass buy them and shit.
Look, it's definitely over. I'm starting to get very hand talky.
Yeah, I noticed.
It's very overdue for the Switch to finally get a much needed boost in hardware. It makes no sense to me that we are on a PS5 Pro. Like,
Yeah, it seems a little.
I don't like. I totally get it, but like, if you're someone who just wants to play games at 60 FPS, like, it's looking like we are going that way with just a few
Yeah.
of them. I get, like, I'm not saying it's needed, but I'm just saying, like, as a tech enthusiast, like, I'll be honest, like, it kind of is a bummer that, like, a lot of the, like, I don't have that performance choice anymore, and developers are always going to push the visual fidelity. And it's about the same, like, the PS4 Pro was 2016. It's like the same 3 years into the
God,
life
it
cycle. I'm
will
not saying
be
that one
4
was-
years after release. That's part of it too.
It'll actually be later. than
I've
the
not
PS4 Pro came out.
emotionally, I've not
No, no
emotionally
games on the
accepted
console
that the
still.
PS5 is 3 years old.
And
Part of it's because there's not
Microsoft
any
says that-
fucking exclusives to the next gen yet. Everything's
Yeah.
still coming out.
Yeah.
Well, and Microsoft says that this gen is ending in 2028. So this would be halfway through the
But
generation.
I'm
4
dying
years.
by 2035. Isn't that crazy? Microsoft doing
That's
that.
fucked up, man. That's fucked up.
Like fucking Phil Spencer just texted me that. I don't know why. Oh.
I can't believe by 2023 or by 2033 all three consoles will be consolidated under the Keeley box.
You don't
It's
understand.
wild.
You don't understand.
Nuts.
Fuck off, and then we're not going to be able to use it because of your fucking
Yeah,
ass.
because
You don't understand. Kaliko's coming back.
Yeah, Tommy Tallarico's gonna save gaming, guys. We're gonna get good
Fucking Intellivision's coming back, yo.
We're so back, guys. We'll
We're
be
so
fine.
back, guys.
Switch
I'm
2,
not gonna
Switch
say it.
2
Okay,
won't
hold
have
on.
backwards compatibility, but Tommy Tallarico's gonna make sure that we get good games. But we're so back, guys. We're so back. The only ones who can't be bought by Microsoft because no one fucking wants them. We're so back.
Sorry,
Oh.
Derek, I cut off your point. Sorry, what you were talking about.
Brit.
Oh my god.
Don't say it. Don't say it. It's true. It's 100% true.
I hate it. I hate it. I think it's hard.
Capcom partners now. We can't say that.
It's hard to believe that we're 3 years in because there's not any fucking exclusives to this gen,
The
right?
best
Or
thing
there
on my
haven't been
PS5 are all
there
my
haven't been
4Ks,
that
bro.
many, right?
Mhm.
That and like constant like big releases are like Jesus Christ. Jedi Survivor is they just announced they're making PS4 and Xbox One versions of Jedi
Because they-
Survivor, a game
know
we
what?
can't
Yeah,
even
I'll
make
admit
run
it.
on current systems. Like,
So I admit that I'll admit that I was wrong. I was thinking that like Star Wars would be enough to like move like people to get it, just to, like, you know, accept the fact that it's on PS5. I guess I was wrong. I guess EA looked at the numbers and thought, no, we needed a last gen version. That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy.
I am really looking forward to Jedi Survivor running at fucking oatmeal frames per second on PS4.
Oh no, that's gonna blow up someone's house,
fantastic.
man. My launch PS4 is going to like burn my house down. What are you talking about?
It's gonna look like CJ.
Is not even gonna blow up. It's gonna pull out a gun and shoot you.
What?
It's gonna look
for
shit
daring to ask
up,
it.
It's gonna look like CJ had a fucking meth lab cooking.
Oh my god! Oh, like fucking! I'll look like Gus at the end of the Breaking Bad. It's like what happened. Tried running Jedi Survivor on base PS4.
It's too much. It's too much power.
Yeah, I was wrong. I was surprised again. Like, I wonder if they'll do the same for like Need for Speed Unbound. I wonder if they'll do the same for all their like any major like Call of Duty still on PS4, right? The Call of Duty still on PS4 and base Xbox One. Yes.
I just want to point out in chat because this is too good to leave it there. Blaine said Doug TenNapel is going to personally fund Earthworm Jim 4, and then Karnak said, "I can't wait for him to team up with J.K. Rowling to make Turfworm Jim."
Oh my god, yes, that's brilliant.
I want somebody to make a parody game of that. Like, I would buy that fucking parody game of that.
Turfworm Jim.
Turfworm Jim. That's good. Somebody give him a sub. That was good.
Yeah, that is solid. That is
Turfworm Jim
solid.
says there's actually only one gender, and it's worm.
Jesus Christ. Oh my god, that's fucking good. Yeah, Switch 2. What do we think this thing is going to be called? In a perfect world, they
Don't
call
do
it
this
the
to
Switch
yourself.
Advanced. They call it, but we all know it's going to be called the Switch.
No.
It's gonna be called like the new Switch or something.
GameCube
The
2.
new Switch.
It's going to be called the new Nintendo Switch. It's going to be the worst name possible. That's the
Call
real
it-
answer, and I
No,
hate
hold up.
it.
They wouldn't do that because it's not the same console. I think they're smarter than that. The new 3DS was just a 3DS. Do you get what I'm saying?
That's
It's
true.
not gonna be. It won't be. It'll be called like.
Wasn't there a more powerful 3DS that had exclusive games? Like what was that
like
called?
Two games. The
Okay.
new.
They're gonna
new
call
3DS.
it. They're gonna call it Everybody One Switch 2.
Yeah, there we go. That's it.
Yeah.
GameCube
No,
2.
but
That's my pick.
seriously,
that is like
the two best names are right there. Either Super Nintendo Switch or Nintendo Switch Advance.
I was going to say
awesome.
Super Switch would be a good title. That'd be a good
Super
name.
Switch would be a good title.
Seems they're not gonna call it any of those things.
Yeah.
Like
That would be
Super
so
Switch
good.
would be- It's going to be Switch 2, though. Like,
It's-
Yeah, I was gonna say, Derek, they're great, which means that's why they're not gonna do it.
yeah.
It's gonna be the Switch or the Switch U.
They're going to name it Dave.
They're gonna
Dave.
They're gonna name it. They're
Randy.
gonna name it the Twitch because it's gonna be the second one, but they're gonna like spell it differently so Twitch can't get on their ass about it.
Yeah,
It'll
so yes,
it'll
It's
be
going to
the
be the
Nintendo
it's going to be the
Twitch.
number 2.
it's gonna be
Yeah.
number 2, which
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the Switch
WIT.
U.
TCH,
the two
yeah.
witch,
Yeah,
the
it's
two
gonna
witch,
be the
the two
Twitch.
witch,
The virtual
Yeah.
boy 2.
the virtual boy, no. So it's grown up now. So this is gonna be the virtual
The
man.
virtual man.
The virtual man.
And then the mid-console replacement.
He's
they
an
introduce
adult
other
now.
they introduce
The
other
Nintendo-
genders.
no, it's good. No.
The Nintendo Game Man.
CJ, you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna have an ad where you see the virtual man, and at the bottom it's just gonna say he's all grown up.
That's like
The game-
that's a
the
joke for
Game Man
nobody.
Advance.
Like, nobody's gonna understand because Nintendo's audience now is gonna be like, "What the fuck's a virtual boy?"
Oh.
The virtual man and the Nintendo Game Man, the Nintendo Game Adult. Like,
yeah.
Game
They call it the
Adult.
console. They call it the console. They're like, "Fuck this
Yeah.
shit. We're done. We're done. We should be done." They call it the Nintendo, and that's
There's
it.
a
They're
virtual.
gonna just call it the Switch console. That's what it'd be called.
The
The Nintendo Switch family of handheld and console systems.
The Nintendo PlayStation.
yeah. Listen, guys. Okay, you don't know what it's like to live with like older Latino people because they call everything a Nintendo. This shit's gonna fuck up so many kids' Christmases. That's not fun.
It's gonna be Christmas
call it-
fucking chaos.
Just call it the Nintendo.
When the PS5 came out, I had like call.
What you guys don't know.
Because like no, because like when during Christmas time when I was trying to get a
Hold on.
PS5, my aunt literally
actually-
called and was like, "Mira, CJ, compraste ese Nintendo."
CJ, I actually just got a text from my uncle who works there, and he said keep this on the down low, which I've already failed because we're live now. But he said keep this on the down low. Tommy Tallarico has bought a 51% share of stock in Nintendo, and it's now going to be called the Swin Television. So it's a combination of the Switch.
Remind me, the Intellivision
the Switch 2 is going to be Tommy Talatuco.
There we go.
Tommy Talatuco? That sounds like something That sounds like something that my dad got.
What's Nintendo's track record lately with like home consoles? It's been like the N64 didn't do that well in comparison to PlayStation. GameCube
Their home
didn't do that
consoles
well.
have struggled since the Super Nintendo, honestly.
So,
they have.
right, like the Wii.
Well, I mean
was,
the
like, their
Wii,
last
but the
hit.
Wii is an outlier.
The Wii is no one's main console. It was my main console, and I hated it. I hated the fucking Wii.
It was my grandma's main console, and by that I mean
exactly. Exactly. All right. You ever played Modern Warfare on the Wii? No, of course not. Fucking sucked.
She used to call me like John. She used to call me like John. Come bowl. She used to call me like John. Come bowl with me, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, Grandma, I don't want to.
Everyone talks.
My mom loved Wii bowling. She would like call me downstairs to play that shit all the time.
My
And
grandma.
she hated going out to buy. That's the only thing I wanted for my birthday when I would like turn 17. And she hated that we had to go out and fucking buy it and like search for it because it was so fucking rare. And then like when we got it, she fucking loved it. She played that shit all the fucking time.
My grandma did that shit. Like I was in fucking college, like with my girlfriend, getting busy at like 9:30 at night on a Friday, and she's calling me, John, come play Wii bowling. And I'm like, no, Jesus Christ, Grandma, leave me the fuck alone. She's gone now, and I wish I had gone back. Like in hindsight, I wish I'd gone back and enjoyed those Wii bowling.
You wish you'd gone back and challenged her to Wii boxing so you could beat her old ass up.
Derek!
Damn it, Grandma. Damn it, Grandma.
You want to play Wii bowling, Grandma?
God
Play as
damn it,
Matt,
Derek.
and you're get the buffer.
How dare you?
John, please play
my... Shut the fuck up.
Call me again, Grandma. See what happens.
Call me again. Call me again when I'm with my girlfriend, Grandma.
Muhammad Ali, like, bounce and everything.
Don't worry,
Play Grandma
Grandma.
on Wii Tennis with the unbeatable strategy, which is go.
Don't worry, Grandma. This will make you stronger in the long run.
Don't worry, this will be over quickly.
Hey, Grandma, you ever see that movie $1 Million Baby? This has become an elderly abuse podcast. Real quick.
Every nursing home needed a fucking Wii boxing fight club.
Just be like, you just lean over, you're like,
I
take a
actually
dirt
worked
nap,
at a
Grandma.
nursing home, and they love their Wii bowling, so you're not far
I
off.
want a remake. I want a remake of the Green Mile, except in the beginning, instead of watching TV, they're beating each other's ass in a Wii boxing.
I once played
I don't
Wii
want to do
bowling.
this shit anymore.
Man, I once played Wii bowling with my grandma, and I just beat the shit out of her. And I leaned in, and I was like,
Not in bowling. Not in bowling. He just hit her.
Yeah, and CJ, I leaned in. I was like, CJ, I leaned in, and I was like, take a dirt nap, motherfucker. Like it was so raw.
Like, no, John, no one's that fucking intense for normal bowling. The fuck doing fucking Wii bowling.
I've seen The Big Lebowski. People get that intense about bowling, right?
Over the line.
Oh my God.
I threw that fucking Wiimote through the wall, and I said, get the fuck out of here, Grandma.
Like, John, put your strap on. Nah.
Poor Jeff up in the corner is just there.
Jeff, see, they put this shit in the water here in America, and it just makes you like this. Like,
Either that or it's the alcohol.
Anyway,
One of the
Jeff, what's
two.
your favorite Wii memory?
I didn't have a Wii. I don't have any memory.
Did you? I feel like Jiminy Glick right now.
My favorite Wii memory was working in retail for 4 years at that time, and every morning watching the horde of 20 grandmas outside the store coming in. Do you have no Wii? No, still don't.
And you fought them. You were brave enough to fight them, put them in their place.
I literally punched them out. and threw them out in the city.
Threw them out in the cold to die.
Go out in the cold. Tell your grandson this shit is. This shit's
Population got younger by about 1 year that period of time.
It was the
Yeah.
same for fucking Rock Band. Like that
Yeah.
shit was.
And it was crazy.
I love-
Are y'all ready? Are y'all ready to get fucking drunk as hell and do Rock Band karaoke at this charity
Am
get
I ready
together?
to sing fucking Juanes songs in Spanish
Let's
while getting
go,
drunk?
motherfucker.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I am insecure about my Spanish. You guys are gonna fucking eat this shit
I'm
up.
not gonna correct you.
You shouldn't.
I got middle school level Spanish.
Oh my god.
All
right, you
what
fucking-
a what
all
a
right,
what
you
a
losers.
froggy end to this. Ended up being a very low news show, but like it was very high personality,
energy,
and that's
low
what I
and
think
high
I've
speed.
needed.
high speed,
Happy
low
birthday.
drag, as we would say in the Marine Corps.
Yeah,
It was like we weren't even on the show. We were just hanging out.
yeah. It tells.
Yeah, no, I like
It turns out if we don't get to do this show, like if we take a couple weeks off, when we come back, we're gonna talk about beating up old people. There's really no getting around it. That's just who
don't
we are.
Tell me, and nobody in the chat come at us because don't tell me boomers don't deserve it.
Derek,
do.
Derek, it ain't just
Maybe
talk, brother.
Grandma for you.
It ain't just talk. Old
Oh.
people know better than to fuck with me. All right. So, although I guess at 43, I'm kind of
Speaking as an old person, right, John?
speaking as an old man myself. All right, some closing stuff here. Of course, we have our Derek and I are
Discord.
doing our fundraiser this starting this Saturday,
Cool
where we're
donate
going to be
link.
playing through Mortal Kombat to
Patreon.
get some donations for the for all the writers' strikes right now. We'll be doing that, starting that this Saturday. Of course, again, we are now official Capcom content creators, so looking forward to a long and really cool relationship with Capcom. And we got Capcom, we got Square Enix, we got one more we're trying to get. We won't tell you what it is, but hopefully we are going to get the trifecta here. I'm going to be streaming some Final Fantasy 14 on Sunday night. Going to be running some roulettes. Going to be doing some crafting, grinding some mats, and just general cool and chill vibes. So if Britt, if you want to join me for that, you're more than welcome to.
I will.
And cool, awesome. Me and Britt then are going to be streaming Final Fantasy 14 on Sunday
I
night.
can't do current stuff because I'm not caught up, but I will demand new armor and items from you.
I'll forward you whatever you need. I will make you whatever you need. And of course, in a few months, we have our annual fundraiser at my home happening. Some of us will be there. CJ, Derek, and Britt will be here. Jeff, unfortunately, cannot won't be able to make it this year. Jeff, we miss you, buddy. We love you.
I think Justin's still a maybe. We're still waiting
Justin
to
is
see
a
on
maybe.
Justin.
Justin is a
I
maybe.
think Finn should be in. So right now, I think Justin's the maybe, and Jeff right now is out. We'll see how things
out.
shake up.
Yeah.
So
But if nobody has,
please give money to
anything else-
Patreon because
Yes.
it's expensive to do things like the FF16 event and also get together.
Bridesmaids, Kristen Wiig, help me, I'm poor.
We are though. I
We
live
are.
in Kentucky. I'm not
Rich
exactly
because
rich.
I have wonderful friends that I
mean-
hang out with every so often, and then you guys too.
Yeah, no, that tracks.
That's
That
fair.
tracks.
That's fair.
All right, everyone. Take care of each other and remember that kindness costs nothing. We'll see you next week.